Dana?
He's doing good. He's doing good. Tough kid, obviously. After the first round, his eye was bothering him. You could see that he got hit. And at one point he started covering his eye like this and was kind of, messing with it. And then, Justin just kept busting.
Topuria is going to need time to recover mentally, emotionally, and physically. He's never lost before. This is gonna take some to overcome. One of the things that was Topuria's greatest weapons, greatest strengths, greatest traits, besides his overall ability and technically be sound, and he was a full package. He really was. Talent-wise, technique, everything. But one of the things foremost that leads the way for all those things to mean something is he has supreme confidence. He was a guy who didn't think he could.
Forget everything Dana White just dropped explosive details explaining what happened to Ilia Topuria during the fight, while also teasing exactly what comes next for the newly crowned champion Justin Gaethje. His remarks gave MMA fans fresh insight into both Topuria's condition and the future division holds next season onward.
It's probably what you should do, but on the flip side, you just beat an undefeated badass, decisively finished him. And, I don't know. It's just something that he needs to work out with, himself and his own mind and with his family. Obviously, that Michael fought is just so good. Jeez. And that's the thing about Chandler. I mean, even going into this thing, Chandler's like, look at the guys that I fought. I mean, I fought all the baddest dudes in the division. And the lightweight division is nasty. The lightweight division is like the old light heavyweight division.
As debates continue surrounding the futures of Justin Gaethje and Michael Chandler, Dana White stressed that retirement remains an intensely personal decision. While fans, analysts, and promoters might share opinions, the ultimate choice belongs to the fighters themselves. White admitted the challenge of that decision, especially for athletes who had devoted their lives competing at the highest level and still possess the relentless desire to fight.
Should be Arman Tsarukyan in the lightweight division for the Undisputed World Championship, of course. It's time to give Arman his title shot. I know he's been out for a long time, and if Ilia had won, you'd also want to run the Arman Tsarukyan match because of the bad blood that they have. But now I think you've got to do Gaethje versus Tsarukyan because he's been inactive, but he's still been building his name value. And the wins that he has in the lightweight division, including the win over Charles Oliveira, I know it was a split decision, and I would have loved to have seen it ran back before we don't get a chance to, because it's Tsarukyan next. I know Oliveira has a win over Gaethje. I know he does, okay? And I know that you can use that to say, well, Oliveira should get a title shot against Justin Gaethje, but I think it's time for something new. I think it's time for a new name to be in that lightweight title picture, because Ilia Topuria was that new name, but for a while it was just Makhachev versus Poirier versus Oliveira, and then Khabib was there and he was taking on Poirier and Gaethje, and I just feel like all of the same names have been in the lightweight title picture for a very long time. It's time to let someone new get a chance.
The MMA guru wasted no time shifting focus to the lightweight title picture, insisting newly crowned champion Justin Gaethje should make his first title defense against Arman Tsarukyan. The suggested showdown has already sparked buzz because Tsarukyan is widely viewed as one of the division's most dangerous contenders, armed with relentless wrestling pressure and a complete skill set capable of testing any champion. If the UFC heads in that direction, it could easily become one of the biggest lightweight title fights awaiting the division's near future.
To heal and to get right. And I want to say this. There's things that have to happen for an upset like this. And things went right when he made a mistake going to the floor, but still take none away from Gaethje. But what also went right was...
Teddy Atlas believes a Gaethje-Topuria rematch makes perfect sense, but insists Topuria must recover completely first. His biggest priority should be healing physically and mentally before even thinking about another title fight or making his return to competition.
What the doctor, when he heard it, he only had one way to react. I got to stop this. That it seemed like Topuria said he couldn't see. And when you say that, you're saying stop the fight, basically, because you know what a competent doctor, responsible doctor is going to do. He's going to look out for you. He's going to stop. So it looked like that's what was happening. And then all of a sudden, first of all, it was pretty obvious they didn't want the fight stopped. They didn't want it. I mean, they could. I'm not saying they were risking his life. I'm not saying that, but they didn't want the fight stopped. I don't think any of us did, to be quite frank. But you don't want a guy hurt.
The fight's aftermath ignited controversy after reports claimed concerns surrounded Topuria's vision during the contest. According to the analysis, officials even considered stopping the fight because of those alarming issues. Yet the battle ultimately continued. That decision fueled nonstop debate among fans and analysts over fighter safety, the importance of medical evaluations, and the difficult balance between protecting athletes while allowing championship fights to continue.
Doctor ever stops a fight. And to an extent, if there's ever a 10-8 round, and I'm not quite willing to go that far, but if the referee or the doctor ever stops a fight, that is to let the corner know you have failed at your job. The referee should never be in a position to stop a fight, particularly in between rounds. But even as the action is going, the corner is there. The corner should have stopped.
According to this interpretation, the real controversy revolves around what Topuria's corner was actually telling the referee. While many viewers initially believed the corner wanted another round, Chael Sonnen offered a completely different perspective after discussing the situation with others. He argued the corner's actions and body language may have reflected acceptance that the fight was already over instead of trying to stop the stoppage. As a result, the moment has sparked heated debate, with different observers reaching completely different conclusions from the very same sequence of events.
Is he would shoot to boom, kind of like this knee tap position, and I don't want to open myself up and start to punch in front. I just get this guy thinking that I'm going to go low. They have to kind of respect it, or else I'll just start shooting real shots. Boom, and then he's starting to throw uppercuts here, which if there's those little gloves, if they just nick around the eyes of the bones and stuff, you land enough of those, they'll start to really close your eyes, which is exactly what happened. Ilia, I thought, did a pretty good job in the beginning rounds. He made a really weird decision in the second round, going for
a crucial technical detail from the fight may have slipped past many fans completely. The analysis suggested Justin Gaethje's clever knee taps and constant takedown threats forced Topuria to worry about far more than simple striking exchanges. By making Topuria respect multiple offensive weapons, Gaethje controlled his reactions and created openings in close range and clinch situations. According to this breakdown, those subtle tactical adjustments may have played an incredibly important role in shaping both the momentum and ultimate outcome of the fight.
Hit me. But even if I do get hit when I'm like this, I'm in such a powerful position. Whereas if I'm like this and I get hit, I kind of get spun a little bit more. So Ilia did a great job in that second round of boom, keeping his head way pointed and just being here like this, especially being a shorter guy. If you can get underneath someone and start bombing punches, really all that Elias can do from this spot is start to throw uppercuts. But if he starts to throw uppercuts and I'm looping shots over here, that typically doesn't feel like a super safe.
Corey Sandhagen also praised Topuria's effectiveness in pocket exchanges, while noting that his head movement and positioning make him incredibly difficult to hit cleanly, even under relentless pressure. However, Sandhagen pointed out certain offensive habits can carry risks, particularly for a shorter fighter facing an opponent with the right style and physical attributes. His analysis suggested a technique that usually works defensively can sometimes create dangerous vulnerabilities, proving how tiny tactical details can dramatically influence outcomes at the highest level of MMA competition.
Gets Ilia Topuria in trouble is when he walks to the edge of his opponent's range and takes a shot, and he leans back. Ilia Topuria is on his feet. He's a boxer. He's not moving athletically. He's not moving side to side. He's not throwing push kicks. He's not throwing really high kicks. He's not looking to clinch. He can clinch. He can wrestle, but he likes to go about his fights with his hands and getting himself to the right distance. Right off the rip, he goes straight into Justin Gaethje's right.
From a technical standpoint, Some analysts believe the fight exposed tendencies that had already appeared in Topuria's game before. They noted he occasionally fought at the edge of striking range and relied on leaning away from attacks, a tactic that could be effective but also carries serious risks against precise, aggressive opponents. According to this breakdown, Justin Gaethje capitalized on those moments by landing crucial shots and steadily building momentum. Whether that reflected a strategic mistake, a stylistic weakness, or simply the challenge of facing an elite opponent remains fiercely debated. But many agree those tiny technical details played a major role in how the fight ultimately unfolded. And that...
Why? He's going here, 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 here. But when he backs up like this, he uses his shoulder instead of using his feet to avoid the shots that Justin Gaethje tried to hit him with. So once Justin Gaethje was able to land that shot right here and here and here, you start to see his face swell up. The doctors came in and they were about to stop the fight. And Ilia Topuria goes, no, I can see. I'm glad that they didn't stop the fight because they understand Ilia Topuria's first language is Spanish. So when somebody's talking to him, he's in the middle of a fight.
Demetrius Johnson suggested the biggest difference in the fight may have been the brilliant strategy crafted by Justin Gaethje's team. According to his analysis, the game plan was to stay calm through Topuria's most dangerous early moments and trust Gaethje's durability and experience to carry him into the later rounds. Johnson noted that although Topuria enjoyed early success and created genuine danger, the entire fight seemed to change once Gaethje absorbed that pressure. From there, momentum gradually swung in his favor, allowing him to dictate the pace and impose his fighting style far more effectively as the contest unfolded.